What is up, everybody? Welcome to PS Best Friends, episode 7, the only PlayStation podcast by the community, for the community. We come to you each and every Tuesday with a brand new episode filled with greatness beyond the ordinary. I am your host, Jeffrey Mizrahi, and this morning, I stumbled upon an insane revelation. If you just have, say, hamburger buns, and some cheese in your fridge, bust out one of those hamburger buns, open it up, put it in the toaster, and put a slice of cheese in it. You toast that baby, you're gonna get a delicious hamburger bun grilled cheese.
Wait,
my little tip to you.
Wait,
hamburger.
Are you gonna put the cheese in the toaster? Or
Yeah, of course, it's gonna be toasted with the cheese. How a normal grilled cheese shall be. That'd be insane.
Wait, what kind of toaster do you have? Because if you in my
Oh no, yeah, not a
standard
like.
Oh, okay, I was about to say like you're gonna mess that one up, man.
Yeah, no, that would be fucked up. Just your standard toaster where you could put things in.
Just clarifying.
But yeah, today we have the Burger Boy, Anthony Palm. Anthony, what's up?
Didn't you use that already?
Probably, honestly, probably. It was the one word in front of my face, burger.
I love how you said hamburger before, and now I want to call you the hambungler.
Please. Yeah, and to his left we also have Miguel. Miguel, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good.
Awesome. So I guess let's start off what you guys been playing this week. I'm gonna start off with what I just finished. I got it from GameFly and just finished it now. I got it from GameFly right after the last episode and just finished it earlier today. Farpoint.
How is it, man?
Yeah, so I got it from GameFly, so I didn't have the aim controller.
Okay.
So I'm rocking PSVR with the DualShock 4. Very fun game. Very fun game. It's about 5 hours long. It's your classic sci-fi first-person shooter. The story is you went into a wormhole. You're stranded on this planet. Just you by yourself. The other two people who are on your squad are stranded elsewhere on the planet, and you have to find them, whatever. Okay. And what the game does very well, surprisingly, is gives you this feel of like isolation a lot of times. Not in like the most like innovative or revolutionary ways or anything like that. Like this isn't like a Resident Evil or like an Alien Isolation. But for what it is, I was surprised at how it did really give off like that feel like, oh wow, you're on this deserted island, and it does this thing for the cutscenes is a pretty much like a camera into the room of the other two survivors on the planet, and like that signal got like transmitted to you, but then you can't talk back to them. And like you're watching them in this room, and they're like trying to get off this planet. I don't know, it's really cool, and I wouldn't really recommend using the DualShock 4. I didn't use the aim, so I can't really say much about it, but I'd imagine it's much better than the DualShock 4. DualShock 4 is passable, but definitely not the recommended experience.
Are you using the move component of the DualShock, or are you just using it as a regular controller?
Nah, so yeah, just imagine the DualShock's the gun in your hand. So you're moving that around, and it caused a lot of annoying things on my wrist. So like imagine holding a DualShock like by your belly or whatever, your crotch, whatever the fuck you hold your controller. But then having to pick it up to your face. Also, it does this weird thing where you don't put the actual controller up to your face to put the reticle on your face, like, you know, because it's the gun. You put it like under your face, and then the gun is up to your... It's a little weird. I'm not sure if the aim is better. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds a little odd.
Exactly. Yeah. So imagine holding the controller up to like your chin, and then there's a guy on your right, and then you quickly move, and then like you're trying to aim and shoot while like your right hand is like your right wrist is like being pushed back, and like there's really uncomfortable position stuff.
Doesn't matter where the camera is, or you didn't mess around with the camera?
I mean, the camera really has to stay. So it recommends keeping the camera under the TV. But I really just have a monitor set up. So I mean, it was be only like a foot under. But yeah, I mean, and definitely with Farpoint, you could see how PSVR could be so much better with room scale, like what Vive does and what Oculus does. But for what it is, for budget VR, Farpoint was a fucking fantastic experience, and I got to give it to that. Like, I think this should have been launched with the PSVR. I think that would have been a much better, like, look what we could do with a $400 VR system. But overall, Farpoint VR. I keep on calling it Farpoint VR. It's not called that. It's called Farpoint. Amazing game. The ending set up a possible sequel, possible cute ending, or there could be another game.
So they left it open then.
They left it open, yeah.
Okay.
But that is what I've been playing. What about you guys?
Well, hold on. Let me.
Or any questions on Farpoint that you guys?
Yeah. I asked you earlier. Is it the best PSVR game so far, in your opinion?
Super Hypercube, I really loved.
Yeah, I need to get to that one.
Yeah, but then it's kind of like comparing like, oh, what's the best PS4 game? Resogun or Uncharted? You know, it's like there's such two different games. Like one's like a puzzle, like score attack game. One's like an actual AAA game. But I think it's actually really, it is different genre, of course. But I think I'd say I liked it more than slightly more Farpoint, slightly more than Super Hypercube. But yeah, definitely like it looked really nice. It looks best Farpoint when you're just like walking around the world and like looking up at the sky and looking at the rocks around you. It definitely looks bad when there's a sniping enemy like far away from you and you have to kind of aim and shoot him and it's like fuck, he's like 8 pixels. Or it looks like he's 8 pixels and it's like
nah, I could see that too. Yep.
Yeah, you're like, shit, I wish this somehow was better, but it's like it's already pushing out so much texture and so much.
It's limited by the power. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And surprisingly, it didn't get me that nauseous as well. So how it does it is your left stick is your WASD, is your move around, and your face is like moving around. And how the game's built is actually really interesting. It's like from a gameplay level, it's built that you're always walking forward, really. That's like kind of funneling you down. And some enemies only really can attack you from your front. So you don't ever really need to use what would be the right stick, what would be moving your face around.
So is it like almost like on the rails?
Slightly, yeah. Not fully on rails. There's some
like
boss.
You still
there's
have
some
free roam, but it's not. You're not really backtracking.
Yeah. There's a lot of areas. Whenever there's more than like you're doing with more than 5 enemies, it's pretty much like this like classic like Doom style arena combat scenario. Which so halfway through the game, I did have to turn on the ability to turn. By default, it's off, and you could have it like full turning, which gets me extremely nauseous. I set it to like steps, so it's kind of like it's like a. You really have to have played VR, have done something like it to understand, but it's like you're looking forward at like a single frame, and then it like jump cuts to like a frame like to the left, so like a view looking to the left. So it's
is it like the Resident Evil 7 where it like cuts at angles?
Possibly. I didn't play Resident Evil 7 VR, but
yeah, like it doesn't actually like flow when you're moving it left and right. It just kind of cuts at like an angle to
and that works to make to definitely prevent nausea. So yeah.
Cool.
How about you guys? What you been playing?
You want to start it, Anthony, or should I?
Let me start with stuff that we haven't been playing together, and that is, I've been working on the Titanfall Platinum. I got the Becomes the Master trophy, which was a pain in the dick.
The hardest one, right? According to people.
I'm pretty I would consider it definitely the hardest one, just because it's a time trial basically. So I got that out of the way first, which was awesome, and I'm just cleaning it up now. I have 1.5 missions left on the hardest difficulty, and then all the other stuff's just clean up on an easy playthrough. So I've been playing that. I'm still dabbling with Bloodborne. Jumping a little bit back into Persona 5 at work, but I'm just in a dungeon where it's like I just don't feel like grinding. So it's like I kind of trying to put myself through the paces with that. And then the one that Miguel and I started playing together yesterday was the one that he mentioned last week, which is Dead by Daylight. I really like it. What do you think, Miguel?
I like it, man. I wanted to buy it when it was on Steam, but I hold up when they said that it was gonna come out eventually to consoles, and I'm glad I waited because it's pretty much the DLC included. It's the special edition, which is good. One thing that I really enjoy of it is especially not knowing like the monsters and catching you at guard. Off
Yeah,
guard, I guess.
the first time I heard the wraith's the one's bell, it scared the shit out of me. Especially because he's invisible when he like uses the bell, so he can you just hear the bell right behind you, and then he's just right there. So,
Well,
I
hold
think
on,
there's a really
yes,
cool monster or killer variety.
If you're listening to this right now and you never heard of Dead by Daylight, what's the elevator pitch? Why should I go pick up this game right now?
It's
It's okay. You go ahead.
all right. Well, my pitch would be if you like Friday the 13th, the game, it's more polished and it has more stuff to do on it, I guess.
Yeah, what I would say is that it's a similar formula. Obviously, it's pretty close to what Friday the 13th is. Only Friday the 13th, I think it's 7v1.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe it's 7v1. This game is 4v1. It's a lot tighter of a game, it feels like to me, because I do own Friday the 13th as well. The thing that I like about it is that the maps are smaller, so
Yeah,
you
you were telling me
can
about that.
kind of get to the action faster. Like, I feel like it takes so much longer to do anything at all in Friday the 13th. Miguel and I got through a bunch of matches yesterday, and
Yeah.
they were just kind of going quick. And they never, even if we ended up dying, it never felt like we didn't have a good match. You know what I mean? So I'm really
The thing
impressed
that
with the game.
it does, yeah, the maps are smaller, and obviously the monsters are a little bit faster, but you get different ways to escape the monster. Be climbing a window that obviously the monster can't climb, or just going through obstacles.
So-
Pretty much you're walking and there's like a barricade and you could drop it down and the guy can't go through it. He needs to like destroy it or go around it. So there's different ways to escape the monster, which is good.
What is the monster exactly? What
So
do we-
There's different
Go ahead.
killers.
Yeah.
So there's the one that's on the cover that they kind of advertised is called the Trapper. I think he's a trapper, right?
Yeah.
Where he's kind of basically he has each killer has a special ability. His ability is he can lay bear traps. So if he gets someone, he downs them, and then he carries them. And basically, the goal of the killer obviously is to kill all 4 people. But there's hooks, all around the map. And when he gets someone downed, he can pick them up and then hang them on this hook. And then, so for the trapper, what he would do and how he got me and Miguel. Especially like me, a bunch of times I would get put on a hook, and then one of the other guys would come to save me because you can get pulled off by the other survivors, and he lays bear traps. So a bunch of times I would be screaming. I'd be like, "No, don't come over this way!" They couldn't hear me because we were in a party, but I was like, "Don't!" I was like, "Go around the left side, not the right side," and then they would get stuck in the trap. And then the
you
killer,
have
fear that he would run over, he would kill them, and then I would die because I got left hanging. So there's that one. There's a bunch of different abilities. There's another one where it's in a medical ward, like a hospital kind of, and he has
That's
this
the map.
ghost ability
how
where
many
he
maps
just
are there?
appears all around. I think there's one per killer. I think.
yeah.
Don't quote me on that because there could be less. Like they may.
So
other-
each killer has his own map.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And this is probably gonna sound stupid, but there's no single player or there's no off. Is there an
It's
offline
just
mode?
multiplayer. It's just
no, I don't know if there's anyone planned, but yeah, there's no offline mode in the game as of right now.
Okay.
But it's super easy to get into a match. Like it's super quick. The servers are pretty solid.
one of my favorite that I played because we played as the killer too. I think one match, right?
Yeah, we both went off on our own for
And
a match.
I played as a doctor. So the doctor, his ability is pretty much it's called shock therapy. So when you're on that mode, it throws like a shock, and whoever's around, the image of the doctor just appears in front of them.
Yeah, that's the one that scared
So-
the shit out of me yesterday. The first time we were on that
The
map,
first time that we played and
like
someone-
a ghost appeared right in the face, and I had my
And-
headphones on, so it was like oh my god,
And he thought it was the actual killer. So he starts.
my
just
wife was
starts
laughing her
screaming,
ass off
dude.
at me.
It's funny.
He goes off, and then it happened to me, and it got me too because he didn't tell me what happened. He just started screaming, and the killer got close to me, and it threw that shock, and the same thing happened. I just started fucking screaming too, and I started running because I thought it was a killer, and then I'm like, wait, what happened? we're just going like, I don't know what's going on, because we had no clue what was going on, and then we kind of figure out that each killer has its own own special abilities, I guess you could say them.
Yeah, like when we went off on our own to play as the killer for our own matches, I was the one I was talking about earlier, where the Wraith, where he has like almost like a beckoning bell from Bloodborne, and when he rings it, he goes invisible, and so you can get right up on top of someone, and then when you uncloak, you also ring the bell too, so like it scares the shit out of everyone when they hear it.
And then you see him just like looking around, see where he's at, and you're like probably right next to him, and you just fucking club him.
Do the victims or whatever they're called have classes, or how's that work?
Yes, there are classes. They're not incredibly detailed, but they do each have their own perks. Like the character I play as, it looks like Aloy from from Horizon, but she has a higher repair rate, and she can vault over stuff faster than other characters, and makes less noise when doing it.
You don't get them at the beginning. You gotta unlock them as you go. So at different levels, I think the max is 25. So when you keep playing and you try to level up that, there's like a little shard that you gotta like put blood points, I think they're called.
Yeah, they're called blood points.
And every time you unlock more stuff, it gives you like perks or items or sacrifices. And
so it's cool. It's like it's basically a skill tree.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it refreshes every time you complete it. So it's randomized every time you can unlock different perks, and you unlock different consumable items each time too. And we didn't realize that like Miguel got a flashlight, and he's like, oh sweet, I got this flashlight for the next round. And then he died, and he just lost the flashlight, and he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because it doesn't tell you that the items that you're putting on the character.
No, I think it does. I just don't think we read it.
Probably, but you lose some you lose some after one match, and some of them it's after how many uses you use. Like the toolbox, you got certain amount of uses for it.
Yeah, but you lose it regardless if you die. Like you have to survive to bring it back.
Not that's not true. Because I died once, and I had one of the boxes. It was a rare box, soul box. And
Are you sure you didn't just have two in your inventory though?
No, I had one. So I guess it depends on the item too.
Maybe.
All right. So that game is Dead by Daylight. If that interests you.
Dead by Daylight. It's $30, I think. So worth it.
It's $30 if you got Amazon Prime or Best Buy Unlocked. You could get it for $23.99 at the moment. So
sounds like a good deal.
Yep.
Cool. All right, let's move on to what is and forever will be Moriarty's report.
Time for some news. There are 6 items on the list. Number 1, Sony's global boss, Jim Ryan, has commented on the focal shift away from indie titles at this year's E3 conference. In an interview with GameIndustry.biz, Ryan spoke about the ineffective nature of showing small clips from indie games during presentations. He explained that the method doesn't allow viewers to learn enough about the games, and that it, quote, it is almost viewed as wasted time, unquote. Right now, we have tons of indie content on the platform. The fact that we elected, along with many other things such as Gran Turismo and PlayLink, not to give it its own spot on the stage this week, in no way means it is not important, or it is not there, or we don't worry about it. That's like, that sentence is kind of structured weird.
That's how
Is copy and pasted?
The sentence, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of said that weird. I wonder how he actually said it.
Yeah, he was probably pausing and thinking about it.
And the fact that we elected or selected?
I just copied and pasted it, man.
Whatever,
That's
yeah,
how it
okay.
was.
So pretty much the point
Yeah,
of
we
this...
elected to not give it its own spot on the stage this week.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So yeah, pretty much the point of this, the summary of this is that we showed off just big hits, and we showed off smaller things on the pre-show.
Pre-show, yeah.
This would have been good if they advertised the pre-show at all as a big event or whatever, because they didn't say anything, and they just was a pre-show, so people thought it was just going to be your classic pre-show shit, which is just interviews with influencers and saying how excited they are for what the conference is going to be and shit like that. And as we know, it was actually a shitload of announcements. But the more important and there's two sides to this, which I'm kind of split. Is what he's saying about indies, how it's almost viewed as wasted time. So I think it was last year or year before. I forgot what conference. It must have been a PSX actually. So it was a highlight reel of a bunch of cool indie games coming out, but there was no like title cards or anything that said any of the names for any of the games. And I remember a year before that they had an extremely similar highlight reel. And by every little, even if it was 5 seconds a game, 1 second, 20 seconds, it would say, Shakedown Hawaii coming to PS4 or PS Vita. And it'd have the name of the game, platform, and expected release date. So I think that is enough information, like, that is good to get across. And like, even if you're not sure, it's not the most effective nature of showing, off what the game is, I think that is a important thing and a good thing for Sony to be doing, to just getting the names and even a fucking small gifable clip of the game on stage. But I also understand that it is kind of a waste of time because it's just a bunch of these things cobbled together, and they showed a bunch of stuff at the pre-show, but
So I personally think this may be blown out of proportion. I think what he's saying is that it's a waste of time to show small clips, not it's a waste of time to show indies. I mean, of course it's upsetting. We want to see indies. That's why I love my Vita. It's why I use my Vita so much. But I just feel like I get what he's saying. It's just another case of like, I get what he was saying with the crossplay with Minecraft too, but he just said both of them wrong, I feel like, or he said them not in the most like, someone needs to tell him to word stuff better.
This is how I see it. They used the indies at the beginning of the cycle just because they didn't have the AAA games ready, in my opinion. That's why there was more focus in E3 with the indies. Now that the AAA's exclusives are coming out or ready to come out, they're going to put focus on that, and they're going to put the indies on PSX. Because we're seeing the indies, but we're seeing them in PSX instead of the E3 like we used to last couple of years. So that's the shift, and he probably just said what came to his mind at the beginning.
The thing is, no one wants to really buy that, because then it's like it makes Sony look even worse. If it was like, it makes Sony seem so disingenuous. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, 2013, you sucking indies dicks, but now when you don't need them, you say fuck all. It's like,
what I said. He should have said something like that. Like, we're gonna put the focus on the indies for PSX and E3. We're gonna show our exclusives right now.
Yeah, exactly. Instead, he made it.
I understand what he's saying. I just wish he worded it better, because, like, I get it. I know you're showing all kinds of awesome AAA stuff.
It's like that week he said a bunch of things that didn't make sense.
I think he made a lot of people at Sony, Sony Entertainment, like, really annoyed.
He was on the spot, and he just said whatever came up to his mind at the beginning at that time. So it just it happens. But we look back to what's going on. We could see that E3, especially last year and this year, they're focusing more on the exclusives, and they're putting PSX where the indies and PSVR and the beta too.
The ideal situation for them right now is to just wait for Gamescom or TGS or PSX and kind of show like their good faith back to the industry, and like do some reform on their crossplay and highlight some great indie titles that are PS4 exclusive. Like right now, where the indie titles, the hit like the quote unquote AAA indie titles which is like such a oxymoron, seem to be on Xbox One right now, and not really PS4. You know, Cuphead, Tacoma. You know, what are we getting indie wise on PS4 right now?
I mean, do you consider Housemarque indie? I mean, they're technically, I don't know. I mean, because we just got Next Machina.
They're independent, so they're technically indie.
Yeah, so I mean, we just got Next Machina as a big one.
We're gonna get Matterfall in a couple months too.
Matterfall, yeah, well, it's another Housemarque. I feel
it just seems like they've dropped since launch.
But
Yeah. No, yeah, you don't have to actually. I was bringing the idea up. But yeah, so that's Jim Ryan. I hope next week we have another news story about him saying some nonsense. But
I really hope.
No,
we don't.
they're gonna.
This is gonna be the Jim Ryan report soon.
He's
Yeah.
gonna disappear, and I'm sure.
hopefully. All right.
For a while.
All right, number 2 on the list. After releasing Nathan Drake's last game, Naughty Dog seems determined to keep the world of Uncharted alive. Speaking to Eurogamer, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy creative director and writer Sean Escayg, I'm probably saying that wrong, Escayg, said, quote, "To the Uncharted world is done, I doubt that highly," unquote. So
Yeah.
it's cool
Obvious.
for Uncharted. I'm holding out for a Sully game.
I'm sure they're gonna end up doing
Just a
it.
smaller one like they're doing with Lost Legacy. I just want a Sully game. Maybe a
If-
young Sully would be cool.
If even not with the current characters, I wouldn't be surprised to see them do some Infamous style thing where they keep Uncharted name and do another adventurer.
Like Last Light.
Yeah,
Or First
no,
Light.
or even Second Son. I meant, but
Well,
Oh,
what's the
okay.
name-
Well, because
you guys-
First Light was a DLC type of, or downloadable only game. That's why I was thinking it's similar to Lost Legacy.
For the, in my opinion, the next Uncharted like 5, whenever it comes out, it's not gonna be on. I could see the taking that role of Drake and Drake taking the role of
Spoilers.
Sam.
Jesus.
I mean, if you haven't played it, come
I didn't
on.
beat it yet, dude. What the hell? I'm just
okay.
kidding. I'm just
I
kidding.
was about to say, dude, come on.
no, yeah, but
I might need to bleep that out, though. What's the time stamp on this?
Yeah,
I
just
might get mad.
leave it, dude. Just
Oh, like how you tried to spoil Life is Strange for me last week? Thanks.
Miguel is.
Oh, go
we'll
play
make
this
that a-
game. It's great. I love this game. I won't stop talking about
It's
this game, but
free.
I'm going to ruin it for you.
Let's make that a topic soon. Spoilers, but
Statute of
on-
limitations.
yeah, pretty much. It's because that's obviously a great question. Let's not get into that now, but yeah, just
Yeah,
so
we can
on
say
this,
that.
I wouldn't be surprised to see an Uncharted 5. I think I'd be upset honestly, and I think it'd upset a lot of people
really.
if they did make an Uncharted like semicolon Second Son, and they had a new character in the same world, like, but just a different new character we never heard of.
I am totally on board with them just doing this and just keep doing smaller, like $30, $40 games featuring other characters that we know. Because they even said they were considering Sully, they were considering Cutter, I think they were considering Sam. So I'd be totally down for stories featuring those guys too, or even more of Chloe. I'm fine with that too. So if we just keep getting these $30, $40, not even expansions because they're full games, they're just not like 16-hour romps like Uncharted 4. I am totally cool with that.
Have they said if it's not included in multiplayer? Is it?
It is. I
No,
heard
it's included if you bought the triple play or the triple pack, whatever it was called. But that triple pack is now discontinued because it was cheaper than the actual game. So if you
I
did
heard,
buy that at launch, which I wish I did, you actually got a $15 discount on the game, plus you got all the multiplayer. But this, I don't think there's any multiplayer in Lost Legacy.
From what I heard, if you buy the $40 Lost Legacy or even just the disc, because they're doing retail as well for Lost Legacy, you get the Lost Legacy campaign and the entire Uncharted 4 Thieves End multiplayer suite.
Oh, okay. That's
So-
Oh,
not
that's
bad.
actually a good deal. So it's basically the new triple pack, just standalone from Uncharted 4.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That's not bad.
All right, number 3 on the list.
Games.
There is a chance PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds may still eventually come to PS4 after the Daily Express published an article, claiming that the Battle Royale game will remain on Xbox One console exclusive. And Xbox One console exclusive. Developer Bluehole Studios issued a statement to Game Informer that refutes the claim. The statement reads the following, quote, "We're excited to announce that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is coming to Xbox One. We're always looking at various platforms to potentially introduce our game, but have nothing further to announce at this time," unquote. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was released 3 months ago, and it just hit 4 million copies sold.
Great for them that they have sold 4 million in 3 months.
I feel
Meaning
like this
the
game
is
came out
really
of nowhere.
popular.
It blew up out of nowhere. I mean, I haven't played it, but I'm morbidly curious about it. Even whether it's a good or bad game, I'm definitely going to try it if it comes out to PlayStation.
Okay. Do you guys think the game's gonna come out to PlayStation eventually?
Definitely, eventually. I don't know when, but there's no way. with the I mean, this is going to get into our topic later. With the install base on the PlayStation, they would be silly not to, especially if they're not contractually obliged to keep it on Xbox.
I'm sure they're not, but my thing is that why? I'm sure they got money for it, right? For the exclusive 6 months or whatever it's gonna be.
Oh, of course.
But why not just say that it's gonna come out for the next console?
It's probably something in the wording of the contract for Microsoft that they can't talk about any consoles it'll be to until their deal's up, like their exclusivity deal.
The thing is, I think what it is and what I hear around these parts is that since it's still an early access game, and since Xbox has an early access system in place for games that are like that, I forgot what it's called. You guys know what it's called or no?
It's
Like Xbox Game Preview.
Game preview, exactly. So I guess what the developers are pretty much saying is that, like, we don't know when this game's going to come out of early access. When it does, when it's an actual game, it'll probably come to PS4. But right now, it's still early access. The only console that has an early access-esque feature is Xbox. So it's an Xbox exclusive, you know?
And so a similar situation happened with Ark Survival, whatever the hell that game was called.
Yeah.
That game was in early access for a long time on Xbox. It came way, way later to PlayStation. So this actually doesn't surprise me now that I think back to that. The one that I'm curious about is the one that got announced a while ago, which isn't DayZ supposed to be coming to PlayStation? And we just haven't heard anything about that. And I feel like if PlayStation had an early access, we might have gotten something, or at least gotten
especially because it was
it, you know?
At the beginning was made by Sony before they sold that part of the company.
Was that DayZ or H1Z1? I think it was H1Z1.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, maybe you're right. H1Z1. You're right.
All right. Cool.
All right, next on the list, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered will be available as a standalone release on both physical and digital on the PS4, starting June 27th for $40. Along with the full campaign, it will include its original 16 base maps. This does not include the $15 variety map pack.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, side note, before you get into that too, I did read online, people that do own the Legacy Edition or above for Infinite Warfare do not get grandfathered into a standalone version of this. So with the original version of Modern Warfare Remastered, you needed Infinite Warfare installed to be able to play it. Basically, it's giving you the license for it. You still need that now, that even though this standalone version is coming out. So it's technically a different SKU. Just wanted to add that in before you jump into it.
In what is a single game that could that features the worst video game practices of 2017, Activision managed to put it into a $40 package. It's a remaster that doesn't feature all of the game's DLC from 10 years ago, which is ridiculous. It costs more for the DLC than what the DLC originally cost 10 years ago. Also, the game includes supply drops that feature pretty much, if you're unfamiliar, it's free-to-play bullshit. So it's like a loot box from Overwatch where it's $2 for a thing, and then you have a chance at cosmetics, so skins for your character, skins for your gun, as well as actual new guns. So the $40 you're paying is not getting you all of the multiplayer maps, is 100% not getting you all of the game's guns, which is outrageous. The
other thing too is if you factor in the fact that the Legacy Edition of the game with Infinite Warfare was $80, you get 2 games. You get a full $60 game in Infinite Warfare, and then basically you're paying $20 for Modern Warfare. So you're actually paying more to get Modern Warfare Remastered standalone than if you were to just buy it.
That's not crazy. That's how that works though, just because that's how bundles work though. Like,
I know, but it's just when you also factor in the variety map pack, then it's kind of starting to add up, and it's just like, but why wouldn't I just go get the Infinite for I don't know. You don't agree, like, at least a little bit what I'm saying. Like, I understand the discount with the bundle, but I just feel like it's coming out so long after the fact. At least bundle in the DLC if you're going to do it standalone, you know?
I'm the Call of Duty guy from the group, I assume. And
More so than
The-
me. I like
yeah.
it, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm really bummed out for this. Just overall with the remastered version of the game. The only reason I got Infinite Warfare was because of Modern Warfare Remastered, and I started playing it, and it was fine until they started adding the weapons, which the only way you were able to get them was through the care pack, the supply drops they're called.
Yeah,
Or
I'm not
you had
down
to,
with that.
or you had to play a bunch to unlock the gun. You had to spend a scrap, I think it was called. That's the currency that you were getting when you play the game, and it took a while for that. And the new guns were not balanced that well. So the game overall, it's a different game. It's not if you're thinking that you're gonna get what you played, 10 years ago. It's not. It's way different. Just because they added all those guns and the balance of the
multiplayer is
guns.
The multiplayer, yeah, but the campaign though.
Oh, the campaign is.
I got to give it to
Oof.
them. The campaign's a dope remaster.
Yeah.
If you're good, yeah. If you're interested in it for the single player, then by all means go for it. It's fine.
I would
just
recommend.
It's the old adage of don't break what's not broken. I mean, like the Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2 is the GOAT. Everyone knows that. But Modern Warfare 1 was pretty immaculate up until Modern Warfare 2 came out, and it just made it better. It didn't make a bad game good. It made a good game great. So I just don't understand. Like, I know they're tinkering with it for money to get, to squeeze more out of the, more blood out of the stone. But I just like it's
The
like
thing is with
I
this
wasn't
is-
as big of a Modern Warfare fan as a lot of my friends, and a lot of my friends, it's just like, why fuck with it? I don't know.
The thing is here, you can't even really vote with your wallet because it's a catch-22. You could say, I'm voting for my wallet by buying it because I'm showing Activision that I thought the bundle was bullshit and that I would have bought a standalone version. But then you're also giving in to the fact that you shouldn't be encouraging Activision to do this. So like if you vote for your wallet by paying or not paying, there's like a negative.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're a business, and they're not gonna care if you're voting with your wallet or not.
No, well, they would if your vote was to not spend the money. Then they would care.
I mean, they're racking that money with the supply drops in.
Fair enough. But,
I mean, they're making $1 billion a year or more on just supply drops. So
speaking of Modern Warfare and those creators, they went out to do something else. And
They
did some
went on
better
to form
DLC
Respawn
practices.
Studios, which
Yes.
did Titanfall 2, which is next on the list. Titanfall 2's latest free DLC, adds a game-changing feature when it releases June 27th. The new add-on content, titled The War Games, will finally let pilots equip a third weapon slot. Thank God.
Yep.
The War Games also features 2 new maps. First of which is called War Games. It's a simulated battle zone featuring multi-story buildings and open tank garage facilities for pilot battles, as well as wide open city streets for Titan combat. The
cool.
second new map is called Traffic, and it is Titanfall 2's small area pilots only live fire mode. And there's also a new mode titled Free Agent. So the biggest thing about this is the third weapon slot, because arguably to me, one of the bigger changes from Titanfall 1 to Titanfall 2 was that they took away in Titanfall 1, you were able to have a primary, a secondary, and then an anti-Titan weapon.
Yep.
In Titanfall 2, you could only have just 2 slots. So you can either do a primary, secondary, no anti-Titan weapon, or a primary and an anti-Titan weapon. And I feel like it was just enough of a difference where I always felt that. I mean, I guess you can take into account that they changed rodeoing as well, which I also didn't like, but I know that's not going back to the way it was.
Really, I like how it is now.
I loved the way rodeoing. Nothing was better than just pumping a whole mag into a Titan's brains in Titanfall 1.
That's true. But
I really wish more people played this online
I know,
because
the game is the best shooter, in my opinion, of last year.
But I
I'm
mean,
not saying a lot, but I mean, I do love it a lot.
Anthony, if you try getting a multiplayer game right now on PS4, Titanfall 2, you finding any or no? Because I remember at launch when I gameflied it, I was having trouble finding fucking matches. Like,
No, you can find a game. I got into a match real quick the other day.
Okay.
It depends on what mode you're looking at too. But no, there's still a player base there. I don't know how big it is considering, like, compared to Call of Duty or Battlefield. But
Plus,
no, you can get into a game.
plus it helps that the DLC is free. So I'm
Yeah,
sure
All the
it's,
DLC is free. They have the networks too, so you can always try and jump into a network with a lot of active people, and then you can just jump into matches with them. So that was kind of a neat feature that I feel like just never really took off in Titanfall 2.
Quick question before we move on. Do you think there's going to be a Titanfall 3? Or no?
I hope so. I was actually talking to my friend about this the other day. If they had waited to release Titanfall 2 until like
Yeah.
a month or two ago,
No.
it would have done infinitely better, no pun intended, for Infinite
If-
Warfare coming out a week later.
when that game was announced and they gave it the release window, my question was, why not wait until March? Because the first game got released in March. And if you had put it in March, there was nothing, no shooter out there in March. And then there was no shooter, right? This March?
Nope.
Not a multiplayer one, I don't think, at least.
And it would have been
From
what,
what
a
It,
5
it
month
would have done a
delay?
lot better.
No, because wasn't March? March was Zelda, Horizon.
Horizon.
Oh, no, Horizon
But
was
there
February, right? It was
Yeah,
before
and
Zelda.
then-
So March was, yeah, I don't think there was anything major because Nier Automata and Neo
Effect
came out
was
before
as
that,
well.
and those aren't shooters anyways. But I'm just trying to think of big games this year. So yeah, I don't think there was any big shooters. I said from the beginning this game should have came out March, April. And I think it would have done way better. Everyone
Oh,
would have
yeah.
got Call of Duty out of their systems. There'd still be people playing Battlefield, but you probably weren't getting those people on Titanfall anyways.
No, my main question, I'm gonna ask the question here. With Titanfall, they're putting out the DLC for free, and they announced too that Star Wars Battlefront 2, the DLC is gonna be free too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going forward.
Yes, all
And-
the map DLC will be free.
The
I don't
maps,
know.
yes.
They said there's going to be microtransactions, but it's probably going to be like
Yeah.
skins and.
But the maps are the ones that matter at the end. And Battlefield, the next Battlefield game, they're gonna do the same thing too. The maps are gonna be free. My question is if Call of Duty is gonna join.
Nope.
No way. There's no way you will see a season pass for a Call of Duty game that is not less than $50 in the next 4 years.
Man, I wish that the next the World War II game, that the season pass is free, and so the community could stick together. But yeah, like
Yeah,
I
no
said
way.
earlier,
No way.
it's a
They make
business,
way too much
and
money on
yeah,
Plus, they get everyone back when they do the gold edition of the game after the first map pack comes out, so they get people to like buy it then too.
yeah.
All right.
And last on the list, hero shooter Battleborn has released a new competitive multiplayer mode. The multiplayer game is now free to play, and Battleborn adds new PvP mode, smaller 3v3 battles, new maps, new challenges in Supercharge, whatever that is. I feel so bad for this game. I feel bad for Gearbox because I heard it's a decent game. It just got, it just came out a year too late.
A year too late. It came
I
out
think
at
this
the
game-
same period as Overwatch, man.
That's what I'm saying. That game had to have come out a year before Overwatch to have a chance. That game
'Cause
came out right
it
at the
came
same
out
time as Overwatch.
a month earlier, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that like if that game came out a long time ahead of it, it might have been able to get a bigger following. But I feel like it came out and then everyone's like, "This is kind of cool," and then let's check this Overwatch thing out. Oh my god, this is way better. Maybe not even better. It just got so much more of a following so much quicker.
I like when the game came out. I don't know if you guys remember. The game came out, and at that period, that weekend, Overwatch had the free open beta,
Yeah, the beta was
and
the same week the
everyone
game
was just playing, dude, Overwatch. And man, it just sucked for them.
That's what I'm saying. I feel bad for them because I'm sure the game is fine. I mean, I played the beta and I didn't really like it, but I'm sure there's people that do. I know, like my best friend's brother, he was telling me, he's like, "Oh yeah, it actually is pretty fun." And then I'm like, "Yeah, but why don't you play it?" And he's like, "Because I'm playing Overwatch." So I don't know. It's a bummer, but what are you gonna do?
They're trying, so that's
Yeah.
the only thing you can say.
All right. So that was the news. Let's look up what's coming out this week over at The Drop from our best friend, the powerhouse of PlayStation, Ryan Clements. Here are the new releases of the week of June 27th, 2017. So we're definitely at post E3. I guess E3 week's the only week really where you can't release, where there's a slow release list because now we're at a fucking huge ass list.
Yep.
And let's just jump right into it. Aerea, Aerea Deluxe Edition, PS4 digital. America's Army Proving Grounds. This free military game focuses on small unit tactical maneuvers and puts you to the test in a wide variety of new and classic America's Army maps. Not really sure what this is in the sense. Is it a multiplayer? Is it some weird, like, shooting gallery? Of course,
I don't know.
America's
We
Army
should check it out though.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play
If it's free, I'm down to download it.
That's on PS4 digital. Also, just on the free U.S. Army video games, I played earlier this week some stupid fucking games like Spec Ops, Halo Jump, Army Soul. Like it was really weird and long. But it's pretty much just a PSVR game. You jump out of a plane and you do this Halo jump. Problem is the controls are fucked, and the game really doesn't do a good job of telling you what the fuck to do. So I kept on jumping out of this plane. I would be getting to a certain distance and trying to do what I thought you needed to do, and the training guy's like, nope, not good, start over. And then I had to wait a long loading screen to try doing it again, try moving my move controllers in the right fucking way. After like 5 tries, I'm like, fuck you guys, develop a better game, America. You suck.
What was the goal though? Jumping and doing what?
Getting through rings, I think, or something. I don't know, but I thought I was doing everything right. Not rings,
Sounds
but
like such a
through
tech demo. It's ridiculous.
It was, yeah. It looked pretty good. It looked like it could have been cool, but whatever. Let's see how this weird ripoff of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 works. Next up, we have Ancient Amuletter, PSVR. There's a demo for this as well. I had it downloaded for a while. Didn't check it out yet. Arizona Sunshine, PSVR as well. This is it uses the aim controller as well as the move controllers or the DualShock. I just watched the trailer before this podcast, and it looks like a like Farpoint, but skinned with zombies and like horde mode and shit like that. I'm not sure if there's an actual story or anything like that. It just looked like a lot of different situations in which you would shoot zombies. It looks fun. If you want more content for your PSVR and or aim controller, I'd recommend it. We actually got a question about it from, let me scroll over here, from Bert A. Crane, previous guest of the show. Nope, he's not the one who asked it. I was reading the wrong person. Joel Campos asks, are any of you getting and or excited for Arizona Sunshine for the PSVR? I just got a code for this and don't know much about this game. I saw the Kind of Funny crew were playing some. I think they're gonna upload a gameplay of it soon, but yeah, I don't know. It looks like another game that uses the aim controller, so it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in it. I'm glad that we're getting stuff for the aim controller because it's making me want to get one. The hard part is finding one. But at least I'm open to the idea of getting an aim controller now because, I mean, you could play back the episode. I originally said I'm good on getting one until they show how many games. And I think you said, what, 2 or 3 good aim games?
Yeah, and then...
So, I mean, you already got these 2 games if this game ends up being good. You got Dick Wild is fun. So it sounds like they're lining up a bunch of aim games that they didn't really talk about. And, like, I wish they would talk about the aim controller more.
You think they would have advertised the game? I don't know, man. Sony does what Sony does. But Arizona Sunshine. Next up, we have Cavernous Wastes, a PS4 and a PSVR game. By the way, I feel stupid. Chess Ultra. Fuck, did I say that last episode or no? Was Chess Ultra last episode?
Yes, you did. Remember, Bert said that he was excited about it.
No, did I mention that it had VR? We talked about it, but we didn't.
No, you did.
Yeah,
you did
we-
mention
oh,
that.
okay,
I think we
okay,
just
okay,
brushed
okay.
over it quick. But yeah,
Wow, we have a fucking lot of episodes. The hit of the week, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, PS4 digital out 6/30. Your favorite marsupial, Crash Bandicoot, is back. He's entranced, ready to dance with the Insane Trilogy game collection. Spin, jump,
really good.
wump, and repeat as you take on the epic challenges and adventures through the 3 games that started it all.
Are you guys getting it?
I already
No-
have it pre-ordered.
Oh, nice.
It's going to pre-download probably Wednesday or Thursday.
Let me
My
throw
wife
that
really
on my-
wanted it too, though, so it was more of an excuse to get it.
I'm gonna put it on my game queue, and I'm definitely gonna rent it. I just don't have that connection to Crash as most people do. But maybe it'll surprise me. Maybe I'll try it out and I'll become Tim Geddes.
I'm excited because it's a game that my wife and I both played, but we didn't know each other when it was out. So it's cool that we get to share, like we get to make new memories of a really old game that we both had as kids, but together. You know, like it sounds dumb, but
I feel that.
I'm excited
That's
for
cool.
that.
That's really cool. Next up we have Cryptarch.
Wasn't this
PS4.
last week too?
It might have been. They posted.
Maybe it was
drop-
physical last week, digital this week. I don't know.
Yeah, it's digital. No, that was a different Cryptarch.
Because didn't I make a joke about the Cryptarch from
It did.
Destiny? I was
don't
gonna
know.
just
Because
give you
there's
greens all
like
day.
there's this game and another one. Micro Machines War Series were supposed to come out last week, but I guess they got pushed the week.
Yeah. Next up is Danganronpa, another episode Ultra Despair Girls. Don't read
This
the
is a-
description because it
This is a
spoils.
port of
This is a port of a Vita title, yeah.
yes.
But the description says who the two characters you play are, and if you haven't yet played one or if you're in the middle of one, it's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah, I don't know who those characters. Like I'm in the middle of one, or I'm in the first hour of one. I don't know what those names are, so I'm gonna forget them after
The
this.
names
but,
are so fucking. I hate it honestly. It's like I can't.
I
do.
I do hear
can't-
the ports to the PS4 of the Danganronpa games are very good though. Like they're very well done.
Oh yeah. But no, I'm just saying.
Is V3 coming to Vita as well, or only PS4?
Yeah. V3 is coming to PS4 and Vita. Actually, it has a
it
really
is coming
cool
cool.
collector's edition for $100 that comes with like a bag and shit. I was gonna get it, but I don't have that money. But yeah, with Danganronpa, there's. I guess that's how foreigners feel when playing games with American like English names. You know, it's like John Miller or Steve Johnson, probably like
Or
all-
Aloy.
Exactly. Yeah. But like the Nyagis and the Fukawas, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, Aloy is still the dumbest name in the history of video games, despite the fact that it's my favorite PS4 game.
Next up, we have Dark Arcana, The Carnival, PS4 digital. Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, PS4 digital. That's
This is a re-release of Diablo 3, but with the newest DLC, I think.
yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We should look into this because I want to get Diablo 3 for PS4.
You haven't played it?
No, I have
On
I have it on
PS4?
PC and I had it on Xbox One, but I want to get it on PS4.
If you
For the
pick it
I'm not
up,
going
maybe
to platinum
I'll-
it, but I just want to get trophies in it.
I don't think I'll pick up any. I won't purchase any more DLC, but I have the Ultimate Evil Edition, and I'll be down to play another run of that. It's a fun game. Next up, we have Elite Dangerous.
Finally coming
PS4
out.
digital.
I thought that
this-
game was out already.
I don't even. Yeah, I
It's
thought it
been
was
a game
out, and I
preview
thought it
for
was
like
VR.
3 years
Game preview on what? On the PS4?
on Xbox and Steam, I believe, the Steam Early Access or whatever.
If you're unfamiliar, Elite Dangerous is the definitive, massively multiplayer space epic, bringing gaming's original open-world adventure to the modern generation with a connected galaxy, evolving narrative, and the entirety of the Milky Way recreated at its full galactic proportions.
This is the game that a lot of people, when people felt burned by No Man's Sky, a lot of people said, go play this instead.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a direct comparison to that game, but I heard like the space stuff and the exploration. So if you felt lacking in No Man's Sky, I guess maybe look into Elite Dangerous. It's
Yeah,
been
and if it's
floating around
recreating
for
the-
long enough. So
If it's recreating the Milky Way galaxy, its proportion is pretty crazy. Next up, we have the Golf Club 2, PS4 digital retail. Jump Jet Rex, PS4 digital, out $628. Medieval Defenders, PS4 digital. This looks like I'm on the blog page, and the one image for it is an iPhone app size
Yep.
dimensions in a square format.
Perfect.
So I find that hilarious. Like, this is clearly an iPhone app on
God
PS4.
damn. More shit on the PSN. What a surprise.
No, but hold on. Jim Ryan has to protect the PS4 from things, but they could put fucking Life of Black Tiger and shit on the PSN store.
I wish he would just say, I have to protect the store from things. It would make more sense than whatever he says.
Right? Yeah, God. Micro Machines World Series. We talked about this last week. I guess it's coming out this week. Plague Road, PS4 digital.
This has been out on Vita for a while. I thought it was on. Did it come out on Vita first?
Maybe, or
Or
I
is this
don't
just
know.
another one
I
that maybe they.
remember that we talked about it.
I
And I've
definitely
seen it on the
Maybe
PSN
some-
store like a lot. So maybe it
did,
came
'cause
out on
I-
Vita first, or maybe
because
we're
I made
showing
them
it
mention
again.
Jim Sterling's in this as well. I don't know.
That's cool.
Poi, P-O-I, PS4 digital. A very interesting title. There's no description on the blog for it, but
It's like koi, but with a P.
But it has a
Go to the doc.
Oh, you made your own thing, yeah. Where'd you get this one? Just from somewhere else?
From their actual page.
Oh, how cool. So it's a 3D platformer, and the picture, I don't know, the picture looks interesting. Two cute little kids with goggles. Then we got the 10th Line, PS4 digital. Tokyo Xanadu, PS Vita. An action RPG, high school students, your typical Vita game.
Yep.
Valkyria Revolution, PS4, PS Vita, digital and retail.
Oh yeah.
This of course
how much
is
that is?
What? How much is it?
Yeah, you know the price?
No, look it up while I read. So this is band together to defeat the evil empire and death itself. The Valkyria. As Vanguard's commander, take control of your elite squad to unleash powerful Ragnite spells and utilize mana weaponry on the front lines. So this is a spiritual successor to Valkyria Chronicles. Very cult following strategy third-person shooting games. The first one has been remastered on the PS4 and PC.
Since when is Valkyria Chronicles 2 on Was that like a bad port?
It's not. It's on the PSP, but I guess it's playable on Vita.
Okay.
Valkyria Chronicles 2 is on Vita.
So it is $40 on PlayStation 4. Did not see anything about cross-buy.
Weak.
Let me search for it on...
But yeah, and then Valkyria Chronicles 2 came out on PSP exclusively, and Valkyria Chronicles 3 was PSP exclusively and exclusively in Japan. So it's going to be digital on Vita and retail and digital PS4. We have a price on the crossplay or anything like that, or nothing? Well, let me just... And the last game this week is The World of Nubla.
I don't see it. I don't see a SKU for Vita. I only see a SKU for PS4 for Valkyria Revolution.
Weird, because it says it's only digital on Vita. Who knows? But that has
Unless it's just not on the store until Tuesday, maybe for Vita.
Yeah. And then an honorary mention of episode Prompto. Is that coming the 27th?
That is coming tomorrow.
Because it's DLC.
I'm kind of excited for it. It looks... I don't know. It just looks... It's more Final Fantasy 15. I love Final Fantasy 15, so I'm fine with it. There's a lot of free DLC coming with that, too, I believe.
People say
if it's not already out.
It's like Metal Gear, where it's like Shadow Moses-esque?
Kind of. Yeah, I mean, you're using guns. It's as Metal Gear as a Final Fantasy 15 game could get. You know what I mean? But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Like I said, I'm just excited for more Final Fantasy 15. I've been looking for reasons to turn this game on. I'm still waiting for them to add like a true hard mode so I can do a New Game Plus and have it be worth something. But they're adding a bunch of free stuff to Final Fantasy 15 too. You're getting the Regalia Type D, which lets you drive off-road with it. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm going to try it out. They're adding some other stuff too.
I think that's going to open up the game to something that people wanted, like being able to explore the world instead of just on the fucking road, you know?
Yeah, I'm just, like I said, more Final Fantasy... Oh my god. More Final Fantasy 15 is good by me.
Pick the weeks, anyone?
Nice. That's not the fish one, right?
No, that's a free DLC, the Monsters of the Deep, or something like that. I don't even know if that's free or not. I think it might be with Season Pass or something. But dude, I'm excited for that one. I don't care what anyone says. I'm so excited to go fishing with Noctis.
Yeah, it's fun. But so pick of the weeks, anyone? What do you got?
I gotta go Crash. I mean, outside of Crash, I would probably say
Diablo 3, probably, if you haven't played it.
I'd probably go Valkyria Revolution just because those games are great.
Miguel, you?
But yeah, I have to personally go Crash, though.
If you haven't played Diablo 3, that's probably the whole collection. So
that's the first PC port to console of like a dungeon crawler or something like that is done very, very well. So I have to give credit where credit's due to Blizzard for giving the time of day to a very good console version of one of their games, especially when they were known for the longest time for not caring about consoles. So I have to give them credit with specifically with the Diablo 3 port.
What's your pick, Jeffrey?
Of course, America's Army Proving Grounds, of course. So with that, let's move on to the question of the episode. Don't forget. Yeah. That read weird to me. I don't know why. You could join us on the PSBF Facebook group. We fucked up and we didn't realize we weren't some admin shit with a linked page.
So what happened?
So Facebook is dumb. So
Let's talk about it.
We made a page for PlayStation Best Friends, PS Best Friends, and then we made a group that linked to the page. And Jeffrey started noticing people were going to the page, not the group. So we were like, okay, well, let's just unpublish the page and just leave the group. Not realizing that doing that was going to not allow people to join the group anymore. So we went, I don't know, maybe a month with the page unpublished. And I was like, why aren't people joining this? And then Jeffrey was like, what if we try republishing the page? And the second I flipped the switch on it, it said 39 people were trying to get in. I was like, oh, well, we messed up.
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining the group. Hopefully next week with 40 more members.
Wait. So yesterday we posted on our Facebook group about the podcast and everything, and someone in the comments like, hey, I've been trying to join the group, but you guys haven't accepted my request. And I think Anthony, right? You're the one that answered him. Like, hey, I don't see anything. Like, hey, try to leave and come back again. And he tried it, I think. And we didn't thought of going and checking if we're able to... if we're admins... Yeah. If we're admins on the group until today, earlier in the morning, I checked. I'm like, wait, let me check real quick. And we weren't there. I'd send you guys a picture of it. And...
Yeah.
we tried to
what happened here. I made us admins on the page. So because we were admins on the page, we were able to edit the group, but we weren't actually admins to the group specifically. We were admins to the group through the page. It's dumb. Facebook's stupid.
Yeah, whatever.
But we fixed it. We figured it out.
Yeah. Thank you for keeping with it, though. But yeah, so that you can find that Facebook group that is now working, and feel free to post questions there at facebook.com/groups/psbestfriends. You could also send us questions a bunch of other ways, such as our email, which is psbestfriendspod@gmail. That's psbestfriendspod@gmail, or our Twitter at psbfpodcast.
It's just messed up that we keep telling them to go to the group, but we didn't accept them for probably a month.
Like 3 episodes. All right, so first question comes from Bert. With Crash coming out, what other ancient franchises would you like to see come back? I vote Medieval. What do you guys think?
I didn't know there was a Medieval game that came out last year, didn't it? It was called
a move game
Medieval.
like 5 years ago, I think.
Yeah, it was a
it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was.
They might have re-released like Medieval. Was there a Medieval 2 on PS1?
I think there might have been 3 now.
I thought there was like 1 or 2. Yeah, I don't know how that series. I mean, they could probably
the one
find
that
a cool
I'm thinking that came out last year was Grand Ages Medieval.
So not any relationship to it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So that's the one I'm thinking.
All right, what would you bring back, Miguel?
Oh man,
let's all just assume we all would want Spyro back, so we can say something other than that.
I won the game that I've been like almost every week. The one that I won is Crash Team Racing. That's probably not gonna happen. But other than that,
yeah, like outside of what like Crash
the comment,
is actually
yeah. Huh.
The thing is, you know what? No, sorry,
go ahead.
I was gonna say I want a new Ape Escape game so damn bad.
Oh,
I loved Ape Escape 1 so much. I got a DualShock, like the controller with the actual joysticks for that game. I love the original Ape Escape so much. It's clunky. It dated, it aged a little odd, but that game is so charming, and they could definitely make a modern one, even if it's only like a $20 to $40 range game, like they did with Ratchet and Clank or Crash Insane Trilogy. They could totally do something with Ape Escape. So I don't know why they don't.
I can't really think of any games that like, oh, you got to bring that game back, because I always kind of go back to the whole old game is old. I think the only like real games that like, oh, you got to bring that classic franchise back is like there's like some the Nintendo franchises. But yeah, what do you have, Miguel? Because I'm still trying to think of one of that to bring back.
SOCOM.
Yes.
SOCOM's a good point.
Yes. It'll never come back the way it was, though. It'll never get better than SOCOM 3 or SOCOM Combined Assault.
Oh, dude.
Combined Assault was my shit, dude.
Just imagine one of these days in a conference, they just they hit us with that, dude,
I would
I'll
fucking lose my
dude,
mind, dude. It
yep.
would be like when the Hardy Boys showed up at WrestleMania this year. I would lose it.
yeah. Oh, dude.
Dude, I used to play. Oh my god, I used to play on. What was the not MLG? It was like the other one. The website where you would gather clans and shit. What was it called?
Game battles.
Yes, game battles. Oh shit, yes. I used to play with this dude. Then I used to play with the biggest, like the motliest crew of rando dudes online, but it was fucking awesome. I played with this one guy named Roofer, and he fucking had my back one time because this guy on our team was team killing a bunch of people, and so I just shot him, like one shot him with my shotgun, and then he like next round he spawned and killed me, and my boy Roofer fucking blasted him in the back of the head, and he's like, "Yo, you're not shooting my boy." And it's like that was one of the first times in video games where I was like, damn, like you could do some cool shit online with multiplayer. So SOCOM Combined Assault was my jam. SOCOM 2, of course, obviously, like everything before that as well. But Combined Assault, I had some good ass memories, man.
I think I would get another entry in the Worms series, like kind of like a Worms.
Kill that series with fire. It won't fucking go away. They're all the same.
Are there any new Worms games?
They keep coming out. It's like one every year or two. Every other year.
A reboot somehow of the whole franchise.
You know what I'd be down for, actually, similar to Worms, is I'd be down for a legit new Lemmings. But come up with clever modern ways of using Lemmings instead of just remaking the old version.
Yeah, it's pretty much a Worms game every year. My bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said that. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's
every year for the past since 2002. I don't know. Next up, we have a question from and that question was already answered. So let's move on to topic of the episode: toes. So I'm thinking, so it was a quiet week, after E3, and I was thinking about a cool topic to bring up, and I was thinking, let's compare where the PS4 is now compared to where the PS3 was in the same time period. So PS3 and PS4 came out both out in November 2006 and 2013 respectively. So for June 2017, that would be matched with June 2010 for the PS3. Not the most important, but I thought just to get the numbers out there. PS3 in June 2010, I don't know how accurate they are as well, but we'll go with these estimates, I guess. 36 million units of PS3s in 2010 of June, and PS4 has 60 million in 2017, so much more. Comparing Xbox 360 in the same time period because it launched a year earlier, 17 million in June 2009, and Xbox One 26 million as of June 2017. So that was because what's it called? Xbox One stops. We haven't gotten Xbox One numbers since then.
I also had to extrapolate information for the Xbox One.
Yeah, I thought the 360 sold way more than the PS3.
Yeah, there's something wrong.
It did
there.
out the gate, but I think it caught up eventually.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound right.
That doesn't sound right, like at all.
Yeah, no,
I
couldn't find.
Check that.
Whatever. I think though
that is
around
a year later between the PS3 and Xbox figure that we have. So I mean, I also doubt the Xbox 360 sold 20 million in a year, but
the PS3 didn't catch up until like the end of the cycle. So that number has to be wrong.
Those numbers could be wrong, but I guess just looking at the PS3 versus PS4, in its lifespan, PS4 has been selling much faster.
Obviously, like it's almost double.
It's almost double.
The question that I forgot when you asked the question earlier, I forgot. It would be more interesting to see the comparison between the PS2 and the PS4.
Fair enough.
Yes,
Maybe that'll be another episode, another topic.
I really want to delve into that because
last year, what I remember, the PS4 was overselling the PS2 at the same time frame. So I'm wondering if it's still upselling it or is it going down?
That'd be a good topic, but just back onto PS3. So PS3 around this time, around 3.5 years into its life, we had games such as Metal Gear Solid 4, Uncharted 1 and 2. These are exclusive, by the way. Little Big Planet 1, Resistance 1 and 2, Killzone 2, Demon Souls, God of War 3, and Infamous. That's all in the first 3-4 years of the PS3's life cycle. Around this time also, games on the horizon were Uncharted 3, Little Big Planet 2, Killzone 3, Infamous 2, and TechWise. And TechWise, the Move.
Which brought us the great Move controllers for
exactly. And then comparing that to the PS4 that we're at now with what games we have now 4 years into the cycle. Horizon, Nier Automata, Bloodborne, Persona 5, Infamous Second Son, Resogun, Until Dawn, Uncharted 4, Ratchet and Clank, The Order, and tech-wise, we already have PSVR. So I guess you could say we're kind of earlier to the jump on new tech than we were last gen. That's an interesting thing. And then for our upcoming on the horizon games, Last of Us 2, God of War, Detroit, Spider-Man, and Days Gone. So that's pretty much what the current situation is. Thoughts? How does each generation compare? Where do you think we are? You think one's better than the other?
I think it's been a pretty good frickin' run for the PS4 so far, if this is what we have already. I mean, the PS3, the games that you mentioned for PS3 are admirable. Very admirable. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 4 is amazing. Almost a timeless game. I mean, there's some weirdness to it, but outside of that, Killzone 2, underrated by far. I thought that game was pretty
underrated.
Good. Resistance, there's a fan base for that. I never got into them. Infamous, everyone loved. We were looking at Uncharted 3 and Little Big Planet 2. That sounds crazy to me. That in the same time frame that we were looking forward to Uncharted 3 and Little Big Planet 2, like in that same time frame for the PS4, we've already gotten Horizon Zero Dawn, Nier Automata, Bloodborne, Persona 5, Uncharted 4, Ratchet and Clank, The Order, whatever. We've gotten Morpheus, which turned out to be PSVR. Morpheus was PSVR, right? Or was Morpheus?
Yeah.
So what was the code name for PS4?
Neo was PS4.
No, Neo was Pro.
I don't know.
So what was the code name?
I don't think it was related to that.
Orbis
was the Move. Yes?
No. It was something. I don't know. I thought they were all like Matrix terms, but
Orbis was the PS4, yeah.
It was the PS4,
yeah.
Okay, and then Durango was.
See, and you left out games for the PS4 too. You're missing Neo.
I just got the.
You're missing a couple of games.
What I'm saying is like,
I'm just
looking.
Looking back, it was just for like kind of defined PlayStation.
For people saying that we don't have enough exclusives on the system on the PS4, it's crazy to me because looking at this list compared to the PS3, I'm sure we're missing a lot of them, but like the main hitters, I guess.
So now that's interesting. You guys say this. You guys say this PS4 list is better than the PS3 list. It's because I would argue that if we're talking like original, let's compare the new IPs. For PS3, we had Little Big Planet, Demon Souls, Infamous, new IPs.
Uncharted
as well. Yes, good point. And Resistance. For PS4 new IPs, we're getting a lot of sequels. We do have, of course, Horizon, Bloodborne. Let's count Nier just because I counted Demon Souls. And Until Dawn, Resogun, Order. That's pretty much the new IPs. Order was really a flop.
Do you count Neo? It's technically an exclusive.
Yeah, Neo. Okay, fine. Yeah, I guess. Neo, I don't really know how much it's going to be. Oh, did I count Nier? Nier's not a new IP. So I guess put Neo instead of that.
Yeah.
But,
I like the Order. I'm just going to put it out there.
Fair enough.
Plan on the game.
The Order is that the game itself... It's not bad. It's just way too short, and it wasn't worth
the $60. No, it wasn't. It wasn't worth $60.
It was like a $30 game.
$40 max. I like the story. How it looked graphically. Jesus, it looked beautiful. Well, there wasn't a lot of gameplay, and it was really short at the end. But I like where the story went.
On the details of the Order. But where do you think...
So I know people are going to hate on it. I'm just putting it out there.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, I did have to defend Killzone 2 real quick.
There you go. So far, right now in the PS4 era, what's the best game right now from the ones that we have here?
I think we're comparing... If we're saying the best 4 years into each system...
let's say PS4 right now, and then we'll say the best one, in our opinion. Let's just put a game out there.
I would
'Cause
say I'd compare Uncharted 4 like for 4 years into both generations of
Yeah.
3 and 4. I'd be comparing Uncharted 4 to Uncharted 2, honestly.
Really?
I love Infamous, but like if you time travel 7 years ago, 2010, what's the PS3 right now? I'd say the motherfucking game that just came out 8 months ago, Uncharted 2. Like that's like what the PS4 is. Whereas like, and now I don't know. I'd say the same thing. What would you guys say? The best of each in its respective times.
Horizon Zero Dawn is just such an immaculate game to me.
Yep.
It's hard to say there's any game that was on the PS3 that was the caliber of this. Outside of if you're going to bring up, of course, The Last of Us, but in a different way. You know what I mean? Like this game, The Last of Us was such a cinematic experience. Horizon Zero Dawn.
We're keeping it in the first for 4 years, though.
What? But I'm just saying, like, if you're going to bring any game from the PS3 era,
yeah, obviously.
Well, no, you know, it's actually interesting that you brought that up.
What any of the games in the PS3's first 4 years did compared to what Horizon Zero Dawn has done for the PS4, showing what you can do in video games, let alone showing what you can do on the hardware.
You don't think MGS4 would have been in the same?
But we also have gotten Metal Gear Solid 5 in the first.
But
4
the
years
games are
PS4
way
as well,
different.
You know what I mean? So you can make that comparison too.
Yeah,
the games are way different.
Yeah, no, but interesting that you brought up Last of Us, because we put where we are in the PS4 or the PS3. Last of Us is 3 years from now. We're not going to see Last of Us, the quote unquote Last of Us.
Might be 3 years from now too.
Exactly, we're not seeing the quote unquote Last of Us until 2020 for the PS4 generation. Just think, because Last of Us 1 came out
3 Uncharted's, so you gotta keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
almost 3 Uncharted's.
Do you think the quote unquote Last of Us of the PS4 generation will be something from Naughty Dog, will be Last of Us 2, let's say, or will be a completely different game that will blow us away in the same way Last of Us did in 2013?
I think if Zelda didn't come out a month after Horizon could have been that game, but it just got a little bit of its mind share sucked up by Zelda. I don't think it did any damage to Horizon Zero Dawn. I just think that if that game came out in a vacuum, I think it would have the potential to be thought of as like that big of a game. I'm not comparing the two in terms of like what they do. I'm just saying as far as us getting giant, high quality games on the PlayStation. That said, I mean, probably Last of Us 2 is probably going to be the Last of Us of the PS4. I mean,
I was about to say that too.
It sounds dumb,
but
for the
PS3, the last big game was which one? The Last of Us,
Last
right?
of Us, yeah.
And they're gonna end up doing the same thing.
Maybe Days Gone can totally surprise us. I mean, I doubt it'll be even close to The Last of Us, but the only other games I could see having even the potential to be The Last of Us of the PS4 are obviously Last of Us 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, maybe, but that's not even an exclusive.
Oh, no.
Red Dead also came out this time around on the PS3. I didn't add that because it's a multi-platform, but we also had Red Dead.
But the other one, and I'm looking right at it on this list, I think all of us are underselling how awesome God of War might be. Because I didn't care about the old God of War games. This game looks so fucking cool.
Is God of War 3.
God of War 3 is one of the top 5 easily for the PS3 exclusives. God of War 3 was so...
I just love the franchise, period.
Yeah. No,
and the new God of War,
I think not rebooting the series, but like changing the direction of this series. I think this God of War game is going to be the one to bring, like it's going to redefine that genre, but it's also going to redefine like PS4 games. And I feel like that might have the potential to stand out like The Last of Us had stood out, where it's like you thought it was going to be about this, but it's really about this. And I feel like if this game lives up to even 75% of what I think this game is going to be based on, especially this past E3's trailer, this game's going to be massive.
I mean, they're actually giving story to Kratos.
That's what I'm saying. I've said it in the past. I care more about Kratos just from the past two E3 trailers than I did in the last 5 God of War games.
Yep. True. I feel you.
I feel like it's so cool to see how we're really like in the center of the generation and to see how good it was, and then just using PS3 as like a I don't know, like something to like check against it. It's like the next half of this generation will be so good, you know?
Yeah, it's like a good barometer of like how we're doing into the generation.
Because in 2010, we had no idea what the fuck Last of Us is. So I'm thinking in 2017, what is going to be that game? You know, that's going to surprise that we didn't even hear about yet.
But so this brings up the question again of, I don't remember, one of us said it earlier about people complaining about no exclusives on the PS4.
That was what I was gonna go with my point. Like,
but going back to looking at what we had for exclusives on the PS3 in the same time frame, I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn, Nier Automata. I'm gonna go through this list again because it's an awesome list. Bloodborne, Persona 5, Infamous Second Son, Resogun, Until Dawn, Uncharted 4, Ratchet and Clank. I mean, that is a fucking amazing list of exclusives.
Are you gonna leave the order out?
Huh.
I'll give you an honorable mention because it was a good tech demo for $8 on sale.
Oh fuck! Okay. I think people are saying that there's no exclusives on it because they're used to, especially in the last consoles, that the exclusives came out in the holiday period.
I was actually going to say the same thing. That's a very good point.
And now they're getting pushed around, and they're coming out in January, February, March, April, September.
Which is odd because there's more time to play those games because they're not coming out in a crowded fall. We're just complaining that they're not coming out when other games are out. So we have less time to, you know what I mean? It's kind of interesting to think about.
It's such a stupid complaint. But, because even if you look back, by the way, Killzone 2 came out in February of 2009. Resistance 3 came out in the beginning of September or the end of August.
But the big ones were like God of War 3.
God of War 3 came out in March of 2010.
Really?
Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I don't think seeing God of War in March of 2018.
That game's gonna come out. Yeah, that's not coming in.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that was an interesting look at that.
And the one that you're forgetting from the upcoming, it's Death Stranding from Kojima.
If that doesn't come out on PS5. I'm just so glad they didn't call this new game God of 4, because that would have been real bad.
That'd be funny.
God of 4.
Funny. All right, yeah. Any closing comments on that? On the PS3 versus PS4, where we stand? I just
think it's an exciting time to be a PlayStation gamer. Yep. I mean, if you're someone that hasn't bought a PS4 yet, it's a great time to buy one. Because just look at that backlog you can immediately have. A lot of which you can probably get in a bundle.
Yep.
So it's a great time to be a PlayStation gamer.
If only you could play all those beautiful PS3 games on your PS4 as well, but maybe.
Let's get our name changes first.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you all for listening to PS Best Friends. Remember, we are a community podcast for the PlayStation or something. I fucked up most of those words. But we do normally have a guest member, one of you listeners, on every episode. This week we had a scheduling conflict or something came up last minute for the guest and he couldn't make it, but don't worry, we'll have him on soon. If you want to be a guest member or if you want to send us any of your questions, comments, or concerns, remember to email us at psbestfriendspod@gmail.com. That's psbestfriendspod, POD. Or follow us and DM us on Twitter at PSBF Podcasts. And then check out our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/PSBestFriends. Also, remember to subscribe and rate us on iTunes. That helps us a lot. The other week, we managed somehow, to get up to the top 150 on the video game podcast.
That's when you check, because the day before we hit the under 100, I think we were like 94 somehow.
Yeah, now we're not there though. So honestly, I have no fucking idea.
We're not. But
how iTunes works, but you know how we would get higher up if you give us all 5 stars, or if you don't like us, I guess give us 1 star, but don't do that.
Please don't do that. Well, you'll bury us.
I guess you could. I guess definitely you have the free will to do that. I'm not gonna stop you, but I'd ask you. That'd be pretty mean, you know. Maybe you could send me a message. We'll talk it over. The outro music, Anthony. What outro music do we have this time?
I don't know. That's why I told you not to mention the outro music.
Oh, don't
Oh.
mention. I read that as don't forget to mention the outro music.
That's all right.
Awesome.
This will be an inline blooper.
All right, cool. And if you want your song to be the final song, or if you have a friend who's in a band, if you know a band that likes PlayStation and would like to send us their music or anything like that, remember, send it to any of the things we just said, PSBF Podcast on Twitter, and the other ones. Miguel, where can people find you and such?
They can find me at PSN Dark Angel 1010 or on Twitter at Angel Alvarez 10.
Anthony, where can people find you and play some Dead by Daylight?
You can find me at PSN at the only X188 and Twitter at Anthony Palm.
And remember, you can find me, Jeffrey Mizrahi, on PSN Brawl96, and on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch or just any of those things with the slash at the end of it, Mr. Brawl96. I stream and such. You know what I found cool? Streaming while playing a PSVR game. So it doesn't use the camera, so you don't have the little like player cam type thing in the top right, but it uses the microphone that's on the it's already into the PSVR, you know, on the wire.
So
It's streaming.
headphones plugged in, then, though, right?
Yeah, you have to have your headphones plugged in.
Right.
And it looks pretty good. Like, so it's pretty much just the view that gets shown on like the second screen on like what happens on your TV, but it looks really nice when it's streaming on Twitch. So that's a cool feature that they added. But remember, thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode. Good night.
Rest in peace, Billy Bones.
No, yeah, I'm saying if the next one, yeah, no, Lost Legacy, yeah, whatever, yeah, you know what I'm saying.